Hi, this is Brett with Aim Small, Miss Small TV. Today I'm going to be talking about ammo sorting, or at least what I think ammo sorting is, and I'll be looking for help from all of you. Why do we want to sort ammo? Well, to be more accurate. And what are the different types of sorting? There's, as far as I can tell, there's weighing the bullet and then checking for rim thickness. Okay, rim thickness. Let's see here. You know, basically the rim right here. Hopefully that's viewable in the video, okay? And we're gonna get to actually measuring this shortly. Where did I get that from? Anyway, measuring rim thickness. And the idea is, once again, for consistency and eliminate the flyers, for sure, but trying to get those groups to be more consistent. I don't know if we're measuring weight because we're hoping the primer, little liquid primer in there, and the gunpowder and the size of the actual bullet itself is going to make the cartridge more consistent. I mean, how's weighing the whole cartridge going to tell you that all three things that I just named off are consistent? What if in one round the bullet is lighter and there's a little bit more powder? So honestly, I don't see that. It doesn't really make sense to me that this is going to work. But when I have expert shooters telling me they do this, I have to listen. So here we go. What I have laid out here is I've already sorted somewhere around 400 rounds. And I've got them labeled with these green sheets by weight. So 51.9, 51.8, 51.7, and so on. As you can see, this bulk right here, 51.5 and 51.6 have the biggest, I guess, average. So this weekend I'm going to be shooting 4 targets in the ARA bench rest. 4 cards, which is about 100 targets. So I'm going to plan on taking 200 rounds with me. Now in these stacks, I've got this guy right here, and this one is one that's anything short, lighter than 51.4. At some point, I might even just kick off this 51.9. I mean, there's only 2 of them out of 400 rounds. So I may just end up putting this in this pile and use these for heating up the barrel or cider shots. I mean, this is great ammo regardless. I did that video that actually that wasn't on this ammo. Well, I've done a lot of videos, and in one of my videos, yeah, I did great groups. That was actually the CCI ammo testing with the CZ 457 at 1, and the CZ did so terrible I ended up shooting this stuff here, is the SK Pistol Match Special. And those had good groups, unsorted, right out of the box. So this isn't bad ammo. So even if I use any of these to do warm-ups, the actual competition, I'm going to shrink down to these guys right here. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm weighing is one thing, and the other thing I'm going to do is check the rim thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speedily go through 50 rounds. I might try to speed it up in the video, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just rely on you guys fast forwarding it, and because I might have something I feel like I need to say. All right, now what I typically do, now this ammo, as most of you guys know, is kind of, I've said lubey in the past, but it's got a lube that's very liquidy, and it kind of gets over everything. So I did just clean up the scale because, you know, they'd fall over or whatever. And anyway, nothing important really said there, honestly. So I just measure each one. Now sometimes I measure them and the scale for whatever reason fluctuates and just acts weird, so then well, it actually did pretty good there. So then I might take it off and keep trying till I feel like it's got a stable weight. 51.8. And hopefully in the video you can see the numbers. You should be able to. Now I wanted to do this video quite some time ago, which I actually did sort the ammo. Oh, that actually reminds me. Let's talk about this for a sec. In fact, you can see, you know, I've got this kind of crossed off here. This was when I was measuring it in grams versus what I'm measuring this is in grains. I could have mentioned that earlier. So this box is at 51.6 grains. And then what I also will do is I'll label, see if I can do this without spilling it. I'll label the plastic thing. You see that okay? Now what I'll eventually do is probably buy, you know, one of those ammo storage things to manage this. But I'm just trying to figure out if this is even going to be a helpful thing, quite honestly. Oh my gosh, come on, I'm wasting valuable time here. Okay, so let's put that back nice and neat. And I guess the cool thing is, if you watch the time on the video, you can see how long this is going to take. Just, you know, obviously, you need to ask yourself, is this even worth your time? Now this ammo that I'm using right now is roughly $10 a box versus this stuff, which hopefully I'll get done in this video. We'll do a little bit of testing on how the variant is on some of this ammo. But this is, right now, Bruno's shooting supplies is I think somewhere around over $30 or around $30. I probably paid about $28 for this versus $10. So because I have, I guess, more time than money, for me, this makes sense. No, I don't think anyone shoots a $30 box of ammo on the ARA match. Not with factory class. I don't think that's really the purpose of it. But a lot of people will shoot the Lapua Center X, and that's $12 a box right now. Well, who knows what it is right now because there isn't any in stock. But anyway, yeah, I mean this, I don't know. We're gonna find out if this is, I'm at a loss for words because I'm just not really sure, but hopefully by the time I'm done with these videos, we'll know what the outcome is and is this worth doing. Like I said, I would love any feedback you guys can give on you know, the kind of the idea of sorting. Do you sort? Would you sort? You know, I've seen plenty of videos of people sorting, even as recently, but I felt like they never came to a grand conclusion. This, I'll probably make this 2 or 3 videos, so I'll make a little series. And because I'm not in this video that I'm released, I'm not gonna shoot it, just because of time and everything else going on. So what I'll do is I wanted to weigh this for this match I have this weekend, which I'll be shooting 4 cards or 100 targets. So I figure I'm going to need, you know, about 200 rounds. I won't go through 200 rounds, but I want to have at least 200 rounds available. That's what I'll use these for, and we'll see how it goes. But the week after that, so the week of 5/28 through 5/30, I'll be shooting 14 targets. Yikes. That's a lot of ammo. I mean, think about a box per card, 14 cards, that's like a brick and a half. And to get a brick and a half of matched ammo, you're gonna do a lot of sorting, at least from this perspective here. I mean, so I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll see how this weekend goes. I will be curious to see your feedback and get an idea what you guys think about sorting. And that will maybe determine whether or not I bother to sort it. See, when they get away from you, it's no joy. As you can see, it gets everything, got lube on everything. Let's see here. So once I'm done with this, I'll kind of just spot check the rim thickness and we'll see what that comes out like. And the rim thickness gauge I am using is what I got from YoDave. I mean, I was on his website ordering a spring for my CZs. I thought, might as well order this thing because I knew I was going to do some measuring. And this thing was, I want to say it was 75 bucks. So it's not cheap, but I figured, you know what, I'm going to share with the world. Those who are interested can take it for what it's worth and either know that they're worth buying or know that they're worth staying away from. But hopefully I'll be able to give you some sort of an idea to make a decision based on my experience. Now there are many different types of rim thickness gauges, and I'll maybe try to list some in the comments. But a scale is really, I mean, just a basic scale. I mean, you can get into the apparently several $100s for scales. But obviously I'm just using this inexpensive Franklin, what are they, Franklin something, I don't remember the second word, Armory, I think. A scale, I want to say this was maybe $25. Alright, we're almost done here. Now I know a lot of things can affect the scale. One of the bummer things about this particular scale is it's battery powered, and so it shuts off pretty quickly. So I kind of wish I had one that plugged in that I could just kind of plug in, turn on, let it get warmed up and be happy. I don't really know if this needs to be warmed up, honestly. And just stay on rather than, have to go use the restroom, come back and it's off, or get a phone call and it's off. I mean, it goes to sleep pretty quickly. I do use this scale for when I reload as well. And that's even more frustrating, especially if I'm just weighing, spot checking every 5 rounds. Most of the time it's gone asleep already before I can measure. So as you can see, the weight's staying consistently. Most of these are the 51.5 grain, and I've had quite a bit of 51.6. Now one thing I think I noticed about this scale, if I'm off center, it can have an impact on the weight. So I keep thinking maybe I'll put a dot there, but actually this one seems to be okay. So actually in this case, and maybe, see, it kind of went up, whatever. Excuse me. It looks like, yeah, the 51.5 in this box seems to be the popular weight. So on the match that I'm going to shoot on the weekend, or the weekend of May 28th, which is a Friday, and then it goes Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to shoot the Ely practice, the practice 100. Recently did a video on that. In fact, that was the day at the range target, which is, I think, the best. There's 6 targets on there that I shoot, and they were all great. I've never been that consistent, and that was with the, what rifle did I shoot that with? I can't remember. Okay, so we've kind of gone through this. Let's go and check out the rim thickness. Now, YoDave, it comes in this cool case right here, and it sits in here like this. So that's how it comes. And it actually has a plate, which someday I'll figure out how to mount. It almost looks like a GoPro type mount, but I'll probably make it so I can mount it and just have it mounted in my desk somehow. But what do we do here? How do you want to do this? Let's work our way down and see if we have any the differences. So this is, it's backwards. Let me turn this around here. So I have this in millimeters, so it's 1.9 millimeters. And you know, when you get this fine, it really, every little bit counts. So that's 1.9. Let's see what this is here. I'm gonna try to. So you're at 1.8. Okay, this is the 51.88 grain. 11. Yeah, see, it's okay. So I try to get that thing in there so it's sitting right. So that looked like 1.08. Okay, 1.09. Maybe I should have been writing this down so we can kind of get an idea. So, in fact, I'll do that. So 51.8 was, what do you say, 1.09 millimeters. And what was this one here? .8. This is 1.11. Okay, so I'm going to go 51.9 is 1.11 millimeters. What I'll do is I'll take these numbers and then I'll put them on display right here so we can see what it turned out being. 1.07. 1.12, 1.8. See, so I mean, so this is, I guess, where you guys can really chime in and tell me which one of these gauges work out best. 1.11. Oh, I don't remember what the first one was. 1.12. I think it was 1.8. 1.6, 1.5. Yeah, so this is this is leading me in a direction that is not very helpful. 1.8. Oop, we lost our 0. 1.9. 1.7. So what I'm trying to do is kind of reset it and then push it in there so it's level in there. So this is 1.7, 1.8. This is 51.6 grain. Is 1.08. What the heck? Okay. See, we're lost 0 again. I mean, I gotta say, the quality of this thing's pretty awesome. Okay, oops, I didn't want to do that. Reset. Now, millimeter's pretty small, so if this is off a couple millimeter, or hundredth of a millimeter, is that really a big deal? I suppose so, if we're trying to actually see if there's a difference between any of these. So I feel like what I'm learning here is weight and rim thickness don't really match. This is about the same. Of course, the grain's very little. Oh, what do we want? 1.5. We'll go 1.08, I guess. You know, once I see this video, I'll probably notice that the measurements were different than what I'm remembering. 1.07, 1.07. 1.06. 1.09, 1.10. 1.06. Yeah, I can't even. 109. I'm gonna do one more. I'm basically wasting your guys' time here, I think. 107. Well, I mean, this one seemed to kind of just be all over the place. All right, well, 51.4. We'll go with, what did I just say, 1.07. So rim thickness, we go from 0, or I guess 7/100ths to 11/100ths. So there's really just a 4/100th of a difference. What do you think? Okay, here's a question for you, and we'll actually test it. If I take my rifle, try not to sneeze, that's my squinting there. If I take my rifle and I close down that bolt, my brain tells me, is that not going to be compressing the rim thickness? Is that not where the bullet sits and the bolt goes in there? I don't know. Let's try. All right, yeah, I'm gonna load this thing with live ammo, so we'll stay away from the trigger. I want to put a hole in my garage. And actually, let's take one of these guys that I don't really care about. So I'm gonna take the ones that were kind of out of the distance on what I wanted to hold on to. And it looks like right now this is reading, what was it, 1.06. Okay, my video on the overhead camera stopped recording. It's a Canon M50 and it only lets me do it for 30 minutes, which means I've been talking for 30 minutes. Alright, I don't know where the video ended, but I've taken out the round out of my rifle and it's measuring 1.6, which is what it was ahead of time. So that tells me the rifle does not jam that that rim in there to squish it down any. Let me take, should we test one more? Kind of at a weird angle with my rifle and I'm loading this thing. I definitely don't want to do any accidents. Okay, so here's 1.08. Let's do just one more to give it a whirl here. Okay, 1.07. So, what are your thoughts? Okay, last part of this video is I'm going to go ahead and take the Lapua X-ACT. We'll weigh it and we'll rim thickness it. And let's see what we get. Oh, actually one last thing. I printed out the semi-spec and I'll put a big picture of that here. And I was hoping to see what the semi-spec was for rim thickness, but I honestly don't know how to read this. So if anyone could help me out with that, that would be great. Turn this dude on. We in video. Too much light. Oh, okay. I think we're... Let me see if I can get a part where the light isn't. Okay. So, we moved away from grain somehow. Okay. 51.8. I'm only going to do 5 of these. 51.8. Let's see what the rim thickness is. Okay. 1.09. And I'll put this on the screen too here. I'm going to randomly kind of do this. Oops, way first. I'm also wondering, the more I handle this ammo, am I taking it off too much lube? 1.08. Okay. So far, the grains are the same. Wow, 51.8. Wow, but the rim thickness, okay, 1.09. 1.09. That one was slightly off, so I'm going to try to make that more centered, see what we get. Okay, 51.8. Wow. So this stuff's pretty dang consistent. And it should be. I mean, really. Okay, last one. 100% the same. 51. Let's recenter that. Okay, it looks like this guy wants to be the oddball out. Yeah, we're gonna go with 51.9. And let's see what the rim thickness is. Okay, 1.09. Let's try this one more time. What do you think? Ah, that's the answer. 51.9 grains on the weight. But I must say, that's very consistent. Like I said, well, you know, I don't need to say it again because the measurements would have already been in there. So this is the ACT-X, or X-ACT, excuse me, which is Lapua's best. Now I'll tell you this, I shot this stuff at the last ARA match and I did not do very well. But the problem is I moved away from my standard of using a bipod. I used kind of the front rest you've seen me use, especially on my Tika videos. I think that was a mistake. I had been shooting with the bipod so long and I didn't even practice using the front rest at all. And that cost me big time. So I'm back to the bipod. I enjoy the sturdiness of shooting on the bipod. It's interesting, I've got quite a lot of comments on when I shoot good groups and they said, wow, and it's on a bipod. I'm telling you, if you haven't tried it, try it. You don't, now I tighten, most of my scopes have the part where you can adjust the cant. I tighten that thing very tight so it's hard to get off of, you know, wherever I leave it. And that's super sturdy. That's one less thing I have to deal with. Even with the front rest, I'm fighting keeping that sturdy. I just like the bipod better in this case. It's much more sturdy. So if you haven't tried a bipod and you're trying to make your groups more consistent, that is a good way to go. Also, in my opinion, get the bipod. I think it's basically whatever the model number is, then with an S in it, which are little knobs that you use to adjust the height instead of the niches. Honestly, I think you get more flexibility with the little knob that you kind of tighten down. And it holds it very well, believe it or not. You just tighten that knob down. These are the knobs on the legs, not the one that keeps the cant. You know, I'll put a link in the descriptions to the one I like to use. I don't think Amazon has them, but Midway does. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, shoot that bell, and God bless. And like I said, this will probably be 3 videos. And so, you know, shoot that bell because then you get notified when the other videos come out. And these will probably be the next videos I do. I'd like to do a video on dry fire, on pistols. But man, you only have so much time. And so I've got a lot of videos I want to do, including something, in my opinion, this ammo pricing and ammo shortage and pricing and what to do about that for non-competitive shooters. For competitive shooters, you need ammo to shoot competitively. So, I guess for those that are watching this video, you're probably competitive shooters. So, anyway, thank you.